back. Welcome back to another live feed. Got one more to go after this one. This is about Public Enemies, this 91 album, Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse 91. The Enemy Strikes Black. That's the fourth album that came out in 91. Apocalypse 91. Enemy Strikes Black. It was an interesting album. I mean, coming off the Fear of a Black Planet album in 1990. Now here's 91. New year, new concepts. Sounds kind of different from the usual stuff. Songs like Can't Trust It, Shut Them Down. By the time I get to Arizona, even the remix that Pete Rock did on Public Enemies, Shut Them Down remix. It was different though. It was different. The sound was different. And sometimes you gotta go in another direction. But there's reasons for that. We're gonna get into details of that. Why this album sounded different than the previous releases. But this probably was the last big time album from Public Enemy because in '94 they made music and not message, but the game had changed. It wasn't as always political as it was previously before that release came out in '94. So when you look at Public Enemy, it's the best of times for Public Enemy as a group in '91, 35 years ago. That's why I want to do this 35 years later to revisit that album, Apocalypse 91, The Enemy Strikes Black, released on October 1st, 1991, on Def Jam Records and Columbia Records. And it was produced by Gary G. Wiz, the Bomb Squad, executive produced this, the Imperial Grand Ministers of Funk. You see that, and also they made Bring the Noise with Anthrax. But the thing about it is that this album was different, very, very different, and for good reason. They recorded this in the Mixed Palace in Long Island, New York. The Bomb Squad, this producer, had an input in this record, but it sounded different. Also, the album title is an allusion to the titles of the Apocalypse Now movie and the Empire Strikes Back. So, the group would take a different direction with their sound. As I said, this album sounded very different than previous work, but it was out of necessity because, according to Hank Shocklee, around this time, the disc for every track they had been working on for the past 4 to 5 years had been stolen. So this imagine if that work that they was doing, all them tracks they was doing, wasn't stolen. They probably wouldn't have had this kind of album. But they had some stuff, probably some great stuff, cooked up in the vault. Somebody stole it. So they had to recreate the music and put out their album in a timely manner. So just imagine if they had that great music that wasn't stolen. Think about that. It would have been whole different story. But Shockley admitted that it was impossible to completely recover what they had lost. So even once you lose all your data, it's very difficult to get that data back. So you may get some of it back, but you'll never get the complete set. So you won't even know what the complete set is because there's data in there you didn't really know you had. So in retrospect, he believed the lost stunning Public Enemy's growth. So we never really recovered after that. We was on a roll. I was on a roll, and to lose that material set me back so hard. So as a result, the sound was a little leaner than the disc production of the previous albums, and live musicians became a permanent element as well. The group recorded 1 million bottle bags, so a test of faceless of malt liquor in the African American community. Obviously, they did Bring the Noise, a different version with Anthrax, heavy metal group. Again, this album dropped October 1st, 1991. Can't Trust It, Night Train, Shut Them Down, and the B-side, Time to Get to Arizona. It was very controversial due to they depicted killing the governor of Arizona, Evan Meacham, who refused to recognize Martin Luther King's birthday as a national holiday. Can't Trust It was Public Enemy's most successful single. Peaked at number 9 at the Hot Soul Singles chart and number 50 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The song also peaked at the number 5 on the Def chart, becoming their most successful release there. So it definitely got a lot of critical acclaim upon its release. And typical Chuck D, very powerful and raw with the lyrics. Staying political, staying true to what they were. And that's it, man. That was the best of times with this group. They went platinum. The following month after the release in October, they went platinum status in November 26, 1991. They were number 4 on the charts, number 1 top R&B hip hop albums chart. So they were doing their thing. And this is a different group. This is a unique group. You talk about this group, Public Enemy. It was different. It was so different than what was out at the time. In '87, this was different. It was a different group. They had an alternative and that awareness of what they were talking about, the social commentary aspect, political aspect, messages in the music, whatever it is, man. Just something different at that time. You haven't seen since, you know. They can be controversial a little bit, out there for their approach, how they did things, but they were different, man. They were a different group. And that's the thing that stands out with this group, man. They were definitely one of the all-time great groups of all time, and that's why I wanted to talk about this album on this live feed, and that's basically it, man. It's the best of times for this group. So let's get into like the meaning of this album. Let's get deeper into this album, the meaningness of this album, what it meant. Apocalypse 91, The Empire Strikes Black. What does it mean? What did they mean by this? Okay, before I close out. In this landmark album, it translates to an urgent wake-up call against institutionalized racism and oppression. So the first half of Apocalypse 91 is a play on the film Apocalypse Now, signifying the time of reckoning and systemic collapse. The second half was The Enemy Strikes Black, riffs on the Empire Strikes Back, positions Black America the enemy to the status quo, as a resurgent force fighting back against white supremacy. So the album served as a social political agenda for the black community, the frontman Chuck D addressing direct systemic issues. Core thematic themes, meanings on the project include resistance to oppression, can't trust it, confront the brutal history of American slavery and the ongoing modern day economic exploitation of African Americans. Active protest, the controversial single By the Time I Get to Arizona was written to condemn the state's refusal to recognize MLK Day as a holiday, highlighting the group's militant stance on fighting political racism, community awareness that dealt with how they tackled inner city public health and exploitation, including the aggressive marketing of malt liquor in poor minority neighborhoods on 1 million bottle bags, and finally, the defiance of mainstream acceptance. Chuck D stated the album was designed to be abrasive and uncompromising, using a bag for acceptance from white mainstream America. So that's what this album was all about, man. These themes of this album outlined right there what I talked about. Why this album was made, why it was put together. Man, typical Chuck D and Public Enemy. So that's it for today's live stream. I got one more to go. That'll be it. So till then, talk to you soon.